Yeah. I was on, I'm okay to say this. I was on jury duty for 4 weeks, which was crazy. Anyway,
Yeah, not
let's
fun.
let's let's try to forget that.
Not fun.
So,
All right. So today, iPhone 14 is coming today. I've got it ordered. Do you got yours ordered?
no, I don't. I have
Man,
no plans on buying the 14.
I heard that they couldn't even deliver on some. Some of them were delayed, but mine is on the truck. It's coming out here. And what was the number one feature that we wanted in the iPhone 14?
Wi-Fi 6E, man.
Yeah,
Wi-Fi 6E.
yeah, we wanted Wi-Fi 6E, but guess what? It doesn't have it. So I think they were worried about supply chain issues with the 6E chipset. They just
Yeah.
wanted to be safe and sell as many of these things as they can, right? So
So
yeah.
why did you buy it? Let me ask you. Is there,
Well, just because it's the best iPhone ever. I watched the
is it
presentation.
because are you saying that because it's new? That's why
Yeah, I mean,
you're,
I like to see like how it changes, and usually I just sell my old one and get
yeah,
like pretty good money for it anyway.
yeah,
So I like to get a new one every year and just like sell the old one and
yeah,
see like what's improved. Usually there's a lot of Wi-Fi changes, like we got Wi-Fi 6 and I can speed test it and do things like that, right? But now
yeah.
there's no 6E on the iPhone 14, so I'm gonna
Which is
have to.
which is weird because there's a lot of laptops that have Wi-Fi 6E. I guess well, I don't know if it's not easier, but
Yeah, I
there's
mean
a
it
lot of
kind of
laptops, newer
is.
laptops.
It kind of is easier because it's not fixed. They have to deeply integrate these smartphones, right?
Yeah,
With the
yeah,
laptop,
true,
they can just replace that M.2 card in there pretty easily, like I did.
true,
And
true.
so I think all new laptops coming out this year are going to have 6E or most of them, except
Yeah,
the really bargain ones because at that level there's no shortage of the 6E chipset, right? And at like the access point level, there's plenty of them coming out.
yeah. They'll probably put them in the more premium like laptops, and
Yeah,
then the demand won't be as high as the economy kind of laptops, probably.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I think most laptops are going to have it, and then a lot of any smartphone other than iPhone pretty much is going to have it too. Like a lot of the Samsung Galaxy S21, S22, the Z Fold, and then the Google Pixel 6. They all
yeah,
support 6E right now. So pretty much any Android phone over $400 is going to support Wi-Fi 6E. So start
and
buying
that's
those.
about what did we say? That's about 38% of the market.
Yeah, yeah, we looked it up in what Apple has like what was the
62%.
62% right now, which is up. It used to be less. I thought it was getting in the 40s at one point.
No, it was 50 some percent,
Yeah,
and they went up this year, or whatever the measurement was for the
but
time frame. I'm
there's
not
still
sure.
gonna be a lot of devices using Wi-Fi 6E coming out
Yeah,
this year.
combination of those newer laptops, especially business laptops,
Yeah,
and bring your own devices. There's a mixture of them. So
yeah,
not even considering like the meshing ability on the 6 gigahertz, right?
yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of advantages, and I mean, if you're definitely in a situation where you have a lot of interference, and you
Ooh,
have it, then definitely like look at switching to 6E for that reason, right? But
I
if
mean
you,
that's a huge reason to do it because
yeah,
there's so much interference anymore.
yeah, if you have a mission critical application that's using Wi-Fi, I would definitely switch to 6E right away.
Yep,
As long as all the client devices you're using can support it, it makes sense, right?
yeah,
But at any rate, if you're putting in a fresh Wi-Fi network this year, still I would think Wi-Fi 6E is the way to go. The ECW336 got plenty
yeah,
of them, and it's going to future-proof because the next iPhone is definitely going to have it. Right now, what
yeah.
we have like half of the market's going to have Wi-Fi 6E, and the iPhone side isn't. But as soon as the iPhones switch over, like every smartphone's going to have Wi-Fi 6E, and you're going to want to switch them over just because it's going to be a much better experience.
Yep. Yeah, definitely.
All right, so next thing, we want to talk about the gateway, which we have pricing and full specs on now, right? The
Yep.
ESG510.
Yeah, the Ingenious Security Gateway
Mm-hmm.
510. Yep, that's right. Actually have a webinar on Wednesday, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah. So we have the spec released on that. The feature set's pretty much released on that as well.
How can they sign up for
Yeah,
the webinar?
pardon?
How can they sign up for the webinar?
Oh, they can go to www.ingenioustech.com and then there's a section for webinars, and they would just go to that
Okay.
section. You have to scroll down to the bottom, and you can click on webinars and register there.
Okay. Cool. So what the specs? Getting back to the specs. So it's gonna have dual 2.5 gigabit WAN.
Yep. Yeah, we'll have two WAN ports. They're 2.5 gigabit per second, and then four LAN ports. Technically three LAN ports, I guess, if you're using the two WAN.
Oh, okay. So so that second WAN port can be a LAN port too.
That's right.
Okay,
Yep.
yeah, I was wondering about that because we've seen other routers that do that. Because if you only have one WAN connection, why waste that port, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So you can use it as a LAN port, and all the LAN ports are 2.5 gigabit
Oh,
too.
nice.
So your intranet is it's fast too. It will process very fast. It's a quad core CPU too, and 1.6 gigahertz.
Nice.
So yeah, we spec'd it out really nicely. We will have other versions. This particular version is a desktop version, but it's pretty small, compact. I think on the webinar I'll show like an actual live camera view.
Nice.
So I do plan on doing that.
And it load balances between those WAN ports, so you can either load balance or failover, right? Is what we were talking about.
That's right. Yeah, you can load balance or do failover. It also has USB 3.0 for cellular backup.
Nice. And you said there was
Yep.
over 400 dongles they can use for the cellular.
Yeah, there's like 400 different dongles that you could use for that USB connection for that
Nice.
failover. And that could also, that could be your failover right there.
Yeah, for sure. It can be the cellular can be your failover. Or you could have two internet connections. Say you had a cable modem and a DSL. You could set it DSL as failover only, or if you had two fast connections, you could load balance between the two.
Yep, that's right. Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty awesome. That's a feature people want. Plus, there's a stateful firewall.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah, that's something people have been asking for too.
Yep, and that will actually process, it's stateful, so it'll process really fast.
Yeah.
So you can almost get close to line speed on that firewall. So like I think our testing was like 2.4 gigabits of
Nice.
processing or flow or throughput, I should say.
Nice.
So it's going to have a stateful firewall, so that's really nice. It will have two modes too. That's something I'll talk about. This is a preliminary to the webinar.
Yeah.
But I have two modes. It will have, obviously a route mode or as a router, or it will act as a pass-through.
Just a gateway.
And yep, you can just use the stateful firewall, and also you can use the VPN as well.
As site-to-site VPN, also, yeah.
Yep,
Yeah,
exactly.
so you can use it to connect
So
two
you
sites.
don't disrupt your current, routing
Yep.
configuration of your router, and it just sits there and it acts as a firewall and a VPN, site-to-site VPN appliance.
Yeah, so if you have a Comcast like modem combination router, like I know a lot of businesses will have, then you can just put this after the router, the Comcast router, and use it as a gateway, use the firewall, use the VPN and other features
Yep.
of the
The
gateway.
one thing that we really wanted to do with this gateway is kind of simplify some of the configurations. Like VLAN configurations are pretty simple. There's if you've ever configured one of our access points, to configure an interface is basically the same. It's really, really easy to set up the DHCP server, set up the VLAN and everything.
Yeah.
The same is true for the VPN side, for site-to-site and client VPN. It's just a couple clicks. If you're doing it from our gateway to to Ingenious gateways, it'd be super easy. If you have a third-party gateway and you're trying to do set up a VPN site to site, then you do obviously have to put the configurations in that third-party VPN appliance. But on our side, it's really easy. So we try to make it as easy as possible for VPN, VLAN setups.
And this will give you a complete like end-to-end solution. I know a lot of the installers will, they go out, they'll put these things in. They'll want a complete solution that they can remotely manage and monitor, and this is it.
Yeah, the biggest thing for me personally, this is my personal opinion about this, is that I've sit on multiple calls because the Wi-Fi, it came in as Wi-Fi slow, or there's something wrong with the Wi-Fi, or something's wrong with the access point, or something's wrong with cloud, and it ends up being like the firewall, or the gateway or the router or whatever. It's a VLAN setup or something, and sitting on the phone with the customer while they are waiting on hold for their tech support.
Right.
So for me personally, this is a huge benefit for us, because now we have full visibility. Us as a company, supporting the customer, we have full visibility from the router to the client device, basically.
Yep.
All through the cloud interface, all remote access, all through like a mobile app. And we have that remote assistance where, within the cloud, you can request remote assistance. I can temporarily go into your account, into your cloud network, and I can view all the settings. Now I can view your router configurations, your VLAN configurations. And so it's just one suite of Ingenious cloud equipment, and that makes it way easier for us as a company, but also as like if you're an MSP or system integrator, or like your partners, it will make it so much easier. And you Keenan Systems will be familiar with the whole platform as well. So it's just, I think it will speed things up. It will reduce a lot of like truck rolls and things like that. So
yeah, I mean, we've seen it with the cloud APs and switches, how much easier it is to troubleshoot. Now it's going to bring it to the next level without having that gateway.
Yeah, and the upgrading never ends, right? So we're always like going into the cloud, and there's always like a new feature, new something, right?
Yeah.
And it's either something that we had on a roadmap, or it's been like a customer request, right? So that will continuously happen on the gateway, on the switches, on the access points. So it will just continue. That process will continue. It just gets better and better and better.
Yeah, instead of just buying a router that, they discontinue firmware updates as soon as the new model comes out,
Yeah.
So, yeah, nice. All right, so that gateway is going to be shipping soon, and we have the MSRPs at $599. So
that's right.
Pretty good price point for this really capable device. And then we want to talk about ECW215. The wall plate access point is now in stock.
Yep, that's available.
It's available now, and one feature.
That thing is awesome.
Yeah,
we run it in the office. It works really well.
Yeah, so it's like the first Wi-Fi 6 wall plate access point, I think, that's like really shipping and available right now.
Yep.
Or one of the first. I know there's some older ones, but there's been limited stock on wall plates for a long time now.
Yeah, probably almost a year.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So we finally have them. I've had a lot of customers just holding projects up because they wanted wall plates.
Yeah.
So those are in stock. And you wanted to quickly talk about the casting feature, SmartCast?
Yeah, if we have time. It's 16 minutes.
I know.
Yeah, so SmartCast will allow, so you can go into a hotel anymore. There's a couple of hotels out there, I won't mention the brands, that they, one of the features that you have to be able to provide to the customers, to their guest, is the ability to cast from their smart device. It could be a laptop, it could be a smartphone or something like that, to the TV that's in the room. And so what we've implemented on just cloud in general, it doesn't have to be on the 215, but specifically on the 215, it was designed for that. It will it will broadcast a smart TV SSID. All your TVs will connect to that SSID, and then you have a guest SSID, and that's for all your guests. So your guests can still connect to the Wi-Fi network. There's still L2 isolation turned on, so they don't see one another on the network, but it also gives them the ability to cast or mirror their screen onto the TV that's in their specific room.
Right.
The nice thing about it is that, it won't allow you to cast to the TV that's in the next room or the room above or below.
Right.
It will be specifically to the room that they're in, because there's a QR code that they can scan very quickly, and it's a really nice feature specifically for the hospitality market or the industry. It would also work in student housing, I think, as well.
Yeah.
So students they don't have to pay for like Netflix, for example.
Yeah.
They have an account on their phone. They don't have to share the information. That's the other beautiful thing is, I remember being in Houston, Texas. I know you remember that
I was
trip.
there, yeah.
And they allowed you to log in to their TV with your credentials. And I was like, I am not doing that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, that's sketchy.
This way, you can log in on your phone. You never share your credentials. You're just casting onto the TV, and that's it.
Right. So, yeah, that's the way it makes it easy, secure. You have your individual accounts on your phone or laptop, and you can just cast the TV in your room. So, yeah, that SmartCast features on the ECW215 and all the Ingenious Cloud APs, right? Support that?
Yes, that's true, yeah. 220, ECW220, 230, 230S, 220S.
Nice.
Even I think on the 120 and I think on the 160, but I'm not 100% sure about that one.
And then, so those are in stock. And then you want to talk about the Partner Cloud Summit?
Yeah, we will have a cloud summit in October in Edison, New Jersey, at Top Golf.
Nice.
Where we'll be sending out an invite for that. So yeah, that's coming as well.
Cool. And lastly, this week you're selling your e-golf on eBay. So those things are super hot right now. Everyone wants like a great city EV. I'll put the link.
That is a really good commuter car. It's a really good electric commuter car.
Yeah.
And so, I try to put it on BAT, bring a trailer. That's not the type of car that goes on there. And I tried to do it on Cars and Bid. They wouldn't take it either because, they're looking for maybe a classic car or like a sports or older sports car or something like that.
Yeah.
So I put it on eBay. Let's see how it does on eBay.
Yeah, I'll put the link below if anyone wants a great electric commuter, cheap, fairly cheap.
Low mileage. Low mileage.
Yeah, the e-golf is great for the city. It has like a 100-mile range. Something like that, right?
110, 120.
You definitely took it to the limit almost every day, right?
Yeah, I was commuting to work with it, so it did well for what we needed it for. So.
For sure. All right, that's it for this week. Remember to like and subscribe for more help with Wi-Fi, and we'll be back next week.